Hello, thank you for joining us for a brief presentation produced for the Iowa Farm Bureau by Decision Innovation Solutions. The purpose of this presentation is to show visually over time how corn and soybean crop insurance has performed in Iowa. We'll show this performance in terms of indemnities and loss ratios. Annual data for the presentation comes from the United States Department of Agriculture Risk Management Agency. This presentation focuses on indemnities that come from revenue-based products that were available during the 2001 to 2015 study period. These products include CRC, or Crop Revenue Coverage, RA, or Revenue Assurance, RP, or Revenue Protection, and RPHPE, or Revenue Protection with Harvest Price Exclusion. Loss ratio is defined as indemnities divided by total premiums. A loss ratio greater than 1 implies more indemnities were paid for a given year than were collected in total premiums in the same year. Due to the nature of insurance rating, just as loss ratios of less than 1 are expected, occurrences of loss ratios greater than 1 are also expected. The goal of any insurance product should be to average out in the long term to a near 1 loss ratio. So let's get started. This scene shows corn indemnities that have been received for each Iowa county from 2001 to 2015. As shown, flooding in 2008 and drought in 2012 have noticeable impacts on indemnity levels. Depending on the year, hail can also lead to a higher incidence of indemnities being paid. This scene shows soybean indemnities that have been received for each Iowa county from 2001 to 15. As shown, flooding in 2008 and drought in 2012 have noticeable impacts on indemnity levels. Depending on the year, hail also causes indemnities to be paid. While patterns of indemnities paid are generally similar to that of corn, indemnities on soybeans tend to be lower than for corn, particularly during the drought year of 2012. Corn loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2001 to 2015 are shown in this scene. The portion of the column which is red denotes that the loss ratio exceeded 1 for a given year. Depending on the year, the loss ratio can vary widely around 1. This scene shows soybean loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2001 to 15. Similar to the last scene, the portion of the column which is red denotes that the loss ratio exceeded 1. The occurrence of and degree to which loss ratios exceed 1 is less frequent and severe for soybeans than for corn. This scene shows average multi-year corn loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2001 to 15. The multi-year averages used are 15, 10, 5, and 3-year averages. The following 4 scenes show each of these multi-year averages individually and again color portions of the loss ratios that exceed 1 as red. This scene shows 15-year average corn loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2001 to 15. The vast majority of all counties have loss ratios less than 1. The 10-year corn loss ratio for each Iowa county from 2006 to 2015 are shown here. About 3 in 5 Iowa counties have 10-year loss ratios that exceed 1. This scene shows 5-year average corn loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2011 to 15. Due to several weather events in the last several years, about 9 in 10 Iowa counties have 5-year loss ratios which exceed 1. 3-year average corn loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2013 to 15 are shown here. Due to several weather events in the last few years, about 4 in 5 Iowa counties have 3-year loss ratios which exceed 1. This scene shows average multi-year soybean loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2001 to 15. The multi-year averages used are 15, 10, 5, and 3-year averages. The following 4 scenes show each of these multi-year averages individually and again color portions of the loss ratios that exceed 1 as red. This scene shows 15-year average soybean loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2001 to 15. Similar to corn, the vast majority of all counties have loss ratios less than 1. 10-year average soybean loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2006 to 15 are shown here. Just 6 counties have 10-year loss ratios which exceed 1. This scene shows 5-year average soybean loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2011 to 15. Despite several weather events in the last several years, just 9 counties have 5-year loss ratios which exceed 1. 3-year average soybean loss ratios for each Iowa county from 2013 to 15 are shown here. Due to several weather events in the last few years, about 1 in 5 Iowa counties have 3-year loss ratios which exceed 1. We again thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this presentation and look forward to having you visit again. We look forward to any questions or comments that you may have. Thank you.